Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be giving you the licks that I promised you from the previous video. But before I do, a few people made a few points that I thought were interesting. For one thing, if you tried out the blues scale that I gave you last time and you found that you got a lot of extra string noise while you were doing it, yeah, there's a lot of strings there ringing out that we really don't want. It's important to think about your right hand. So as we play, we've already, hopefully, got the knack of gliding around on the strings. Now we want to think about muting off the strings that we don't want. So if I'm going to play the 12th fret on the first string, I'm going to be lying my hand across the strings that I don't want. Now you don't have to grip them, you can just lie your hand across them. And I actually use the edge of my hand right here back where the bridge is, just to rest against it. That should help a little. So when it comes to licks, it's really important to get the most mileage out of them that you possibly can. When we think about the 12-bar blues, we have 3 chords. In this case, we're in standard and we're playing in the key of E. So we're going to need licks that work in E, licks that work in A, and obviously licks that work in B. Now, obviously we're going to want to use different licks over those chords and make an interesting melody, but a really good exercise is to take one lick and use it in all of the positions. So here's the first lick that I'm going to give you. Now, once you've mastered this lick, it's then a good idea to move it around. I started on the 12th fret, that's because I have an E and a B here, and then the end of the lick was played in the pattern that I showed you last time. Now we can move this lick around. If we come to the 5th fret, we're now going to have an A and an E, and if we follow the pattern that we already had, we'll find that we can play exactly the same lick and it's going to work over A. And of course it's also going to work over B. Now how does that work? Well, it's kind of interesting. Blues is an example of broken Western musical theory. When I say that, I mean that every chord in a blues is a dominant chord, and technically we can only have one dominant chord in each key. That of course doesn't work out because blues works perfectly well with 3 dominant chords, but what we actually can do is treat them almost like key changes. Let me show you how it works. During that playthrough, you'll notice that I didn't get a chance to finish off the phrase during the B and the A of the turnaround. It's okay to edit down the licks to make sure that they fit into the bar. Before I give you the licks that I promised you, there's one more thing that you can think about. My guitar teacher would often say this, and it is a really useful skill. We've played that in 1 octave, but it's nice to know it, in this case, in a lower octave. So we could play that exact riff, but a little lower down, like this. That can ensure that we get the maximum out of every lick that we learn. So here's the licks. So there we go. Try them out in different positions in E and A and B. Try them out in the different octaves. And next time we'll look even further into blues slide guitar. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next episode.